Hi everyone. This video is a first in a series of how to avoid common scams which affect everyone, including seniors. My name is Robert J. Bailey. I'm a CPA, and this channel is dedicated to teaching you so you can keep more money in your pocket where it belongs. Now, fraud. In the United States in 2024, $12.5 billion was lost by American households due to frauds and scams. That's up 25% in just 1 year from 2023. 38% of households in the United States fell victim to fraud and scams in 2024. And these numbers just keep going up rapidly. So my first video on the subject, and many people don't know that CPAs just don't do tax returns. In my case, my firm does tax returns, financial statement audits, reviews, compilations, consulting, and fraud investigations, including expert witness testimony. So my first video is on something that's so common because we all have one, and it's such an easy avenue for scammers. It's our phones. So rule number one is do not answer your phone unless you know who's calling. And I'll tell you why in a moment. We all have caller ID on our phones, and indeed if you still have a hard line at your house, you have caller ID. So when your phone is ringing, if you don't recognize the number of who's calling, simply let it go to a voicemail, and in 1 minute, you can check your voicemail to see if they left a message. So, okay, that is the simplest and easiest way to protect yourself from phone scams. But just in case you forgot rule number one and answered the phone from an unknown caller, rule number two is don't say yes during the call. So let's practice how to do that. Ring, ring. Hello? Hi, is this Robert Bailey? Speaking, or who's calling? So notice I did not say yes. Now, let them tell you why they're calling. It's Joe Blow with Ace Tree Service. We'd like to come out and give you an estimate, etc., etc. Now, if you want to pursue that phone call, that's up to you. But do not say yes when they first asked if it's you. Now, if during their sales pitch, they pause and say, I'm sorry, can you hear me okay? Just hang up the phone. It's a scam. You got through the first hurdle of not saying yes when you answered the phone, and they're going to try to catch you this way. So when you say yes, they've got you. And what do I mean by that? Well, unscrupulous vendors, especially third-party salespeople, they're recording your phone call. And they will put together a recording that makes it sound like they're giving you a sales pitch, and then they have you saying yes to a purchase. So the next thing you know, you're going to go to your mailbox, and there's going to be the first installment of the Jelly of the Month Club with a bill for 10 years because you subscribed for 10 years to the Jelly of the Month Club. Or in 3 years from now, or 3 days from now, a pickup truck's going to pull up with a crew that's going to want to put aluminum siding on your house and say they've got a contract that you agreed to for $20,000. And you're going to have a whole process of trying to get out of that. So to avoid frustration, anxiety, damage to your credit score, and possible legal fees, follow rule number one. Unless you know who's calling, don't answer the phone. And if you forget rule number one, rule number two, never say yes. All right. Now, remember, scammers use urgency to get you to act. They work on your fear. So I'm here to tell you that unless you're actively engaged in an IRS audit or you have a matter actively engaged at the Social Security Administration, neither the IRS or Social Security will ever call you directly. They're going to use the U.S. mail to communicate. And if you did have an IRS audit or a case going with Social Security, you'll have a caseworker or an IRS agent. So you already know their name and phone number. So don't fall for anyone else trying to call you and tell them, this is the IRS or Social Security. That's crap. As for utilities, if you get a call that says, hey, you've missed some payments, and unless you pay right now, they're going to shut your phone off. Just tell them thank you and hang up. And then you call the utility company directly to confirm that there's an issue. Now, the next thing I want to briefly touch on is passwords. All right, there's a simple rule, and that rule is 12. You want to have a password that is at least 12 digits long. And within that 12-digit password, you want to have special characters like dollar signs, percent symbols, or exclamation points. That's one component. Capital letters is a second, and small case letters is a third, and numbers is a fourth. So, if your password is at least 12 characters long and has those 4 components in it, it will take the very best hackers out there an average of 400 years to hack your account. So obviously they're going to go somewhere else. Now, as the number of digits in your password decreases, so does the time it takes a good hacker to hack your account. So again, remember, 12 characters using those 4 components, 400 years. 5 characters, less than 1 minute, they can hack your account. Less than 1 minute. So please, remember the 12-digit password rule. Now, that's all we're going to cover today because I want you to absorb this information and put it into practice. So please, get out a piece of paper and work out a 12-digit password. If you want it more than 12 digits, that's great, but at least 12 digits using the 4 components we discussed, something you can remember, and then utilize that to change the passwords in your phone and in your computer. Now, the next video that I'm going to do has to do with emails and basic computer security. Now, the last time I went to a fraud seminar was in May, and I learned of a technique, it's brand new, that fraudsters are using to launch viruses and spyware into your computer using emails. And I almost fell off my chair when I learned this method because it's brilliant. I would have never thought about it, and in fact, I could have easily fell victim to it. So I want to explain that to you and show you what to do and what not to do. And I also want to show you a procedure so that if you are working on your computer and you're cruising the web and you hit a place you want to go and all of a sudden the screen opens up and everything is frozen and you have a clock coming on your computer and saying you have to call this number within an hour or your computer is going to crash forever, I'm going to show you a technique that you would do immediately, and 9 out of 10 times it's going to get rid of that virus. So please, you don't want to miss that. So please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is Robert J. Bailey, CPA. I'll see you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.